Hey there, Pam. I just heard the news from Tony. Are you really going to completely renovate the second story at your family home? Tony heard about it from your mom, and he was telling me about how amazing the whole space was going to look after everything was finished. Yeah, we decided to knock down some of the walls and create a much more open feeling for the area. It should be nice. Then we were going to make some changes to the bathroom and even try and build a mini kitchen up there to make living up there easier. Wow, so you're basically going to have two homes inside one building, pretty much. Well, we're doing a lot of thinking about how we could make improvements to the house since my parents and I live here with his parents. But yeah, we decided basically to try and create two units inside of the one house. That's amazing. I bet that it's going to turn out just super. And I just know that the second floor is going to get some amazing natural light, especially if you're going for an open floor plan. And with some plumbing going on up there as well, it's just going to be the perfect living space. Wow, I would say that you're much more excited about the renovations than some of us here at home are. But it is really fun, I will say. We're going to go to the hardware store and think about paints for the walls. Oh, I bet it's fun. I used to love making my own house on computer games when I was younger. It's so nice just getting to make a space all your own. And just make sure you don't get too carried away and go for some crazy design you'll regret later. I mean, especially since you're just the daughter-in-law living there, you wouldn't want to ruin the house for your in-laws, right? So just make sure you're not running off with your own design ideas and not listening to anyone else's opinion on the matter. Sorry, I don't think I'm quite following you there. What do you mean by that? Well, you're going to be destroying my room in that house, right? You do realize that I grew up in the house, too. I'm sure that my parents have a lot of important memories in the second floor, and I just hope you're being sensitive to their wishes with this. Ah, okay, I think I understand. Well, if you're wondering if I've asked them if it's okay to go ahead with this, they've said yes. I see. But I bet that you're going to put all this money into renovating the second floor and then just keep it all to yourself, aren't you? I hope that you're at least spreading some of the love to my parents, too. I'm sorry, but I still really am not sure what you're talking about with that. Okay, well, you said that you were going to have running water and plumbing installed on the second floor, right? Well, I just hope that that isn't going to affect the first floor in any way. I'm really not sure at all what you're asking. We're working with a team of professionals who aren't going to let one half of the house go without water. Besides, the pipes on the first floor were all replaced about 5 years ago, so there shouldn't be any issues. It was when your mom was making some changes to the kitchen at the house back then. And you really think that the pipes haven't gone at all bad in the last 5 years? That means they've been there since before the last Olympic Games. Is that a metric that plumbers use when considering the age of pipes? I'm just saying that I hope you remember to renovate the whole house and not just the second floor. I'm sick of coming over and looking at all the old appliances on the first floor, so make sure you're changing everything. I really don't think that there's any real practical need to do any of that at all, really. Oh, and if you're going to renovate the first floor kitchen, then you might as well buy all new table and chairs as well. Just make sure that whatever you do for one area, you do for the other. And you have to remember that my parents are getting old, so make sure you do something to open up the first floor plan as well, got it? Okay, no, hold on just a second. None of that is going to be happening at all. We have a budget and a plan for what we're going to make changes to. If we add on the whole first floor, then that's basically building a new house from scratch. I appreciate your suggestions, but the renovations are going to be between my husband and I and your parents, okay? Are you really sure about that? You know that I'm only mentioning all of this because I want you to care about my parents, right? Are you really saying you don't care about them enough to do this? It has nothing to do at all with any of that. Why would you even say that? Well, it's just that my parents are going to be retiring soon, so they're only going to have their pensions to live off of. I figured the least you could do as their daughter-in-law is help fix up their house. I mean, after all, they're being kind enough to let you and my brother live there with them, right? Bianca, I know what you're trying to do, but I've already told you that we've established a plan and a budget, and we're sticking to both. Well, it sounds to me like you're going to need a new budget and a new plan, so hop to it. If you fix up the whole house, it'd be cheaper than doing things one at a time as you need them. And I don't want to hear any excuses about money. It's not like either of you even pay rent there. I know you're both loaded. Hey, Adam, are you there? I think we might need to pause all the construction and go back to the drawing board.
Go back to the drawing board? Pam, why in the world would you want to do that? We just picked out the colors that we're gonna paint the walls.
I know, but I was just talking to your sister, Bianca. I told her about how we were fixing up the second floor of the house, and she told me that we needed to think more about your parents.
Just what is that supposed to mean?
Well, she basically said that anything we were doing for the second floor, we should also do for the first floor as a gift to your mom and dad.
But if we were to redo the entire first and second floor, then we might as well just be building a whole new house. Besides, we already figured out the budget for this and everything.
That's what I tried to tell her, but she insisted that we were doing it all wrong. She said that our budget was too small and didn't take into consideration your parents.
I don't know what she means by that, because our parents already agreed to let us do what we're doing. But I think I might know what's going on here. I think that my parents are trying to use Bianca to get to us.
Get to us? What do you mean by that? I don't understand.
I never actually mentioned any of this to you, because I didn't think it'd really come up, but my dad has really started complaining about the house a lot. He's gone off on me about how cold he thinks the toilet is, how bad the insulation is in the house, and as a comment for every little thing around here.
Oh, really? I had no idea about any of that at all.
Well, it's true. And I do my best to try and listen to what he has to say, but I think he thought it might be more effective to get Bianca on his side.
And that's why you think she was telling us to totally renovate the first floor as well? But does this mean that we'll have to renegotiate this whole thing with your parents then? Besides, it's not like your dad doesn't have money. If he wants to change things, he has the means to do it.
I know they have money, but they certainly don't even have enough for the kind of changes that my dad would like to see around here. Well, I'm sure he would love it if we paid for someone to fix up the first floor.
But then what are we going to do about all of this?
Well, I don't know what we can do. My parents are already swimming in debt. They have some from when they got the pipes replaced and when my dad bought his last car, too.
I didn't realize that they still hadn't paid those off yet, though.
Yeah, they may have had some savings once, but not anymore. I think this is partially why my dad hasn't come to us directly about this, though. I think he was probably hoping that we'd come to him offering to do all the renovations that he'd want to see.
But what are we going to do? We've already laid so much groundwork for this.
Well, I don't really know what we can do now. If this is really happening, then we really may as well just go and construct a whole new house.
Adam, you can't really be serious about that, can you?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I also know that Bianca has interests in this as well. She's always complaining about coming back and visiting the house since it's out in the country. And since she knows the house is going to go to one of us, she'd probably love it if you and I paid to make it all brand new in the chance that she gets it.
Well, I guess that all makes some sense. But even so, we just don't have the budget to make those sorts of changes.
Yeah, we do. I'll pay it all. I agreed to take responsibility for the project when we started, and I'm not going to go back on my word now.
Adam, you're really going to pay to have the entire house renovated?
That's right. I don't want you to get any more wrapped up in this nonsense than you already are, so just please let me handle this. Of course, if it's okay with you, I'd still like to be able to ask your opinion on interior design questions. You know that I don't know what I'm doing on that front. Just try and think of a first floor that Bianca would also enjoy.
Got it. Well, I promise you to do what I can. I'll try and make the best house that we can.
Thank you so much, Pam. I knew that I could count on you. I'll call the construction crew soon and talk to him about this.
Oh my gosh, this place looks amazing! This feels like a brand new house. You really went all out with this. I mean, this place looks better than I ever could have imagined it looking. Wait, Bianca, are you in the house right now? Yes. I thought I would pay a little visit to see how things are going. I heard the news from my mom and that the construction is finally complete. Well, yes, the workers did say that they were all done yesterday. Well, it seems to me like you really put some serious work into putting this all together, didn't you? I mean, the design is just so, well, like I said, it's amazing. You really do have a keen eye for this kind of stuff, I'll say that much. Oh, well, I'm very happy that you're so pleased with it. I really did try hard to come up with a nice design. Well, I think you did amazing. I mean, just being here makes me want to move in. Or rather, seeing this is part of why we're moving in. From here on out, we're going to be living here. Wait, what do you mean by that? I don't quite understand. Well, we already brought all our bags here, so my husband and I were going to move into the second floor. But hold on a second. The second floor was renovated so that Adam and I could live up there. There isn't really a spare room in the house where you and your husband could even stay here. And since when were you two thinking of moving in with all of us over here? And just what is so wrong about the daughter of a family coming back to her home to live with her parents, huh? It was fun living away in the city, but it's tough out there. Well, I get wanting a new start, but you can't just announce this all of a sudden. I mean, your parents and I had a lot of agreements that went into these designs. And one of the conditions that we all agreed to when doing this was that you wouldn't be coming back to live here. And just why am I not supposed to be allowed to come back and live with my family? My parents own the house, so if I want to come and live with them again, then I think I have more of a right to make that choice than you. You should be glad to be living with someone like me. Are you serious right now? Do you really think that you can just barge in here and announce that this place is yours? It's always been mine. Besides, we've already brought all our bags and belongings, so it's a bit late to do anything about this now. I don't even know what to say to that. Why would you pack all your things up and bring them here? I told you, it's because I wanted to come back and live with my parents again. I know that they must be getting sick of living with you and Adam. And now that I'm wanting to move back, there's really no need for either of you to even be here in the first place. I'm sure they'll be overjoyed to have me back. Bianca, I really don't know how else to say this to you, but that is not how things are going to work. Adam told me when we got married that we would be living with my parents, but that he would make sure that I never had to suffer because of it. So I really don't think that he's going to agree to just pack up our things and leave after fixing up the home like this. And just who do you think you are to talk to me about my brother? I know him much better than you, and I know how to make him go along with what I want. Besides, don't you know that I'm the elder sibling? He has to obey me because what I say goes. I don't even get why you'd want to move here with your parents. Can you go and live with your husband's parents instead? You can't just show up here and declare that you're kicking Adam and I out of our living space. Well, it kind of sounds to me like I just did, didn't I? And you have no right at all to be disagreeing with me. I've had to put up with Adam since he was little, and now I'm finally going to be taking what is rightfully mine. I'm trying to tell you that it's not going to work that way. You can't just show up and announce that you're living here. Besides, you never ever wanted to come here and live before Adam and I put all the money into the house, so what changed? Can you please just shut up and move out already? How many questions are you going to ask me? Why can't you understand that you've lost and now you've got to leave? You know what? Fine. If this is how you want it, then so be it. Finally! I thought I would never get rid of you. I was worried I'd have to get my mom involved, but I'm happy now that you're just giving it all up. I'm sure my parents and my husband and I will all enjoy living for free in the house that you spent the last several months renovating. Oh, don't you worry about us. After all, it's your parents who are paying for everything. Anyways, I've got to go. Wait! What do you mean that it's my parents who are going to be paying for all of this? I'm sorry, but I've got to get a hold of your brother and the real estate agent. I'll also have to extend the lease on the place we were staying in during the construction. No, wait. I'm trying to ask you a question here. What do you mean about my parents having to pay? I thought that you two paid for everything. Well, yes, we were going to pay for everything that we'd done. Then Adam agreed that he'd pay for it all instead. The loan for the construction and everything was, however, taken out in your dad's name. Why in the world would my dad agree to do something like that? Well, at first we were just going to pay for the whole project in one lump payment. But when it expanded to the first floor, we knew we'd need to take out a loan. So your parents and Adam and I went to the bank, and the bank suggested bundling the loan into the rest of your dad's debt. What do you mean, my dad's debt? I didn't know that my dad had any debt. Well, yes, he does. He has it from when he did his own renovations 5 years ago and when he bought his new car. But he still has debt from doing all of that? That's right. but the banker said that it would be more economic to bundle the home loan in with the rest of his debts in a kind of refinancing plan. And so your dad agreed to it, thinking that it would be Adam who gave him the money to pay back the debt. But I don't understand. Why would he do something like this? Well, that's the thing. Your dad still wasn't keeping up with his own debts, so in the end, Adam agreed to take on all the debt as it became too much for your father. I tried explaining some of the risks that this could come with to your dad, but he wasn't really listening at all. But then, if you two are in charge of the payments and you two just stop paying, then what's going to happen to all that stuff like the car and the house? I imagine you all are about to find out soon enough, actually. After that, I heard from my husband that Bianca reached out to him and was furious about what was happening. I told him I expected that much to happen after all this. Apparently, the bank had sent a notice to the house explaining that if the payments were not continued, they would be seizing the house and the car. Adam's parents only slowly realizing the consequences of their earlier actions. Adam was already upset at them for acting as if they had no idea about any of this. Bianca, however, was even more upset and raged on about how it was unfair that Adam and I were the only ones left unscathed from all of this. Adam agreed to re-sign over the rights to the house and car so that Bianca and his parents could continue their repayments on the loans, but it was only in exchange for the money that Adam and I had already invested in both of those. With little other choice but to agree, Adam's parents, along with Bianca and her husband, are all living together and working hard to come up with the money to pay off these loans. Adam's lawyer said that it wasn't impossible, but that it would take about 30 years for the four of them to do it all. By then, Adam's parents would be in their 90s. Adam and I were sad about how things had to turn out with his parents and sister. But we blocked them on any kind of social media and used the money we got from them to move to a different city where we wouldn't have to deal with them. We found a decent plot of land with a nice starter home on it and began yet another round of renovations. This time, however, we were only following our own blueprints and nobody else's. It may have taken a long time, but I'm excited to finally have my dream house with the man I love. We've more or less lost all contact with the rest of Adam's direct family, but we'll still hear rumors about them coming from distant relatives and the like. Apparently, the four of them decided to sell Adam's dad's new car for a much older model that they could actually afford. They were doing all they could to cut back on costs and escape their debt. I only hope that this experience can at least teach Bianca and her husband a lesson about having respect for others' hard work and not acting so entitled without the authority to back it up. In the meantime, however, Adam and I will still be working on making our dream house a reality as we work hard to follow our plans and stay within budget.
The invitation for my wedding should have arrived by now, correct? Please make sure to say no to the RSPV, please. We don't need you coming to my wedding after all.
What? Even though you guys went through all the effort of sending me this invitation?
That was only sent to you because I had no choice. At the most recent class reunion, I told everyone that I was getting married, right? And at the time, I said that I'd be inviting everyone from my class. Well, I went ahead and did all of that before I realized that you were in my class as well.
But everyone else says that they're going, so why do I have to be the one to stay away?
Because we don't need some ugly-looking emo like yourself bringing down the vibes of my wedding. If you were to actually come, the whole atmosphere would become cold and people would want to leave. So please, just like with the graduation ceremony years ago, read the air and stay away.
What?
I never thought that you would actually show up to this ceremony after everything, so I was laughing my butt off watching you walk across the stage. I'm sure you felt the same way as everyone else did when you brought down everyone's feelings that day, right? That's why everyone started to whisper for you to go home over and over as you stepped off the stage. But you actually did leave right after you grabbed your diploma, which none of us actually saw coming.
I remember what was going on that day myself. I was wondering then why everyone kept telling me to go home like that, and it made me feel very sad and unwanted. All of my friends were telling me not to worry about what you were saying, but I couldn't hold myself together and started to cry before I went home.
I know that was back in high school, and things have changed by a lot now. But ugly people like you stay ugly. Oh. No matter how much makeup you lap on yourself, you will never be able to get rid of that dark and ugly character you have. And to think that right now, after so many years have gone by, you're still working at base level job? The gas station, was it? I suppose that's the perfect job for you ugly emos then, huh?
Huh? I never really told you about what job I have currently, did I?
Well, I've heard from other people what you're doing. And what they've said is that you're too old now to still be working at a gas station. Oh, there's no way I'm going to let such a low life as yourself come to my wedding of all things. That is the wedding for a high school beauty contest winner, who also happened to be the most popular woman in school after all.
I may not have changed much, but neither of you really, Georgia. You were always belittling people like that, so I guess none of us have really changed much, have we?
Oh, sorry, hold on there. I'm not making fun of you right now because I want to. You've just chosen to continue living life below me as an ugly emo this whole time, Oakley. Now please make sure to say no to that invitation for me. I'll let everyone know on the day of that you ended up having to work a shift on the gas station that day, and that's why you couldn't make it. Oh.
Miss Oakley, are you really not able to make it to my daughter's wedding that's coming up really soon? You made sure to take the day off that day, right?
Actually, there were some other things that showed up on that date. That's why I'm not going to be able to attend that day.
Oh, is that right? Is there no way you can say that you have an important wedding to go that day and maybe postpone some of the other things? It's going to be my daughter's wedding of all things, and I'd really like a person as important as you to be there.
What?
Georgia has already told me that she went and invited everyone from her class back in high school. I think the more people she has from back then coming to see her wedding, the more happy she'll be and the better memories she'll make. So could you please find some way to go to the wedding that day? I'm sure you don't want to keep listening to her mom go on and on about having you come to her wedding. But I'd really love for this wedding to go perfectly for her, and you would be able to make that possible.
You really are such a kind woman, Catherine. But you really don't have to be too worried about this. Even if the both of us were in the same graduating class together, her and I weren't all that close back in the day. I don't think it will bother her at all if I don't make it to the wedding.
Please, don't think something like that, Miss Oakley. There is also my husband and myself, right? Him and I are always talking about how so much you've done for us, so we'd really love for you to be there on our behalf. So, would you please?
I never thought I'd be asked this many times by you to be at your daughter's wedding of all things. You've always been a key member of the team for so long now, so it's a bit difficult for me to say no when you've asked so many times.
It should be. It should be. You have been working so much lately that you should take the day off to come and see my daughter get married. And if it's really going to be difficult for you to change plans around, then at least make around 10 minutes to just pop your head in. I would really like for as many people as possible to come and see my baby girl in her wedding dress.
Well, if that's all right by you, then I suppose I can come and pop my head in real quick. Then I'll be able to say to the groom and introduce myself and be off. If that's all right with you, then that'll be the plan I make.
That would be completely fine with me. Oh, I never thought that at my daughter's own wedding, she'd be able to have you as a guest and finally be able to see the important side of one of her old high school friends. Oh, anyways, I'll be waiting for you on the day of her wedding then.
Why the hell have you come here, you ugly emo? I never asked for you to be at my wedding. Get the hell out of here, you low-life loser.
I shouldn't even have to be told to leave, as you can already see me leaving now. Also, what you just did was horrible. You came up behind me and pushed me right into the shallow pool that's at the front of the wedding hall.
tell me how that was horrible of me. I was just making sure that my wedding is well defined, is all.
Huh? That was you defending your wedding?
You came all the way out here with the intent of ruining my wedding, so I had to act before any of that could actually happen. The moment I found out where the terrorist was, I thought about what I could do to send them away and act. This is what normally happens to people like you, right?
Who are you calling a terrorist? What do you mean I came here to ruin your wedding as well? Why would I ever come here with the goal of doing that to you?
Stop trying to talk your way out of what you plan to do now, you terrorist! I told you well before today not to come to my wedding, right? And you still came walking right in like that warning was never given to you. I know you're only here for one reason, and that's to get in the way of my perfect day.
What?
I'm sure I hurt your feelings by making fun of the fact that you work at a gas station, right? That's why, with all that pent-up anger you have for me now, you've come here to ruin the most important day of my life. That's something I can definitely see an emo like you doing.
I told you that's not why I'm here, Georgia. I came here just to pop my head in and say hi. I get that you really, really hate me for many, many reasons. So to try and keep us from getting into any fights, I was just coming for a few minutes with the plan of going right back home.
Huh? Are you trying to piss me off now by saying that you, a lowlife, came all the way here with the intent of saying hi before going back home? I never said that I needed an ugly emo like yourself here saying hi to any of my guests. You're literally nothing compared to me, you loser. Yet you came here thinking it'd be alright even if it were for a couple of minutes? I'm not sure how much more of a presumptuous action I can handle. Oh.
Presumptuous? I was not doing anything cheeky by coming here for a few minutes. I understand that for a very long time now you have hated me, all right? But you can't continue to act like a child by attacking me when you are old enough to be put in jail for things like that.
Oh, is the gas station employee who's in her late 20s now going to start preaching to me about what's right and what's wrong? Oh, someone like me who's getting married to a man who works as an elite for a massive company? Someone like me who's going to live the rest of their life as a housewife in the penthouse in one of the tallest buildings in this city has ever seen? Don't make me pee myself by trying to act all smart, you low-life part-timer.
So you really are just going to continue with the belittlement until the day you die, huh? I can really tell now that no matter what I try and say to you, you'll never listen to me.
Oh, so you finally come around to realizing that someone like me can't ever understand the crazed thoughts of a lowlife? Well, now that you've realized your loss, go ahead and leave this place in your completely drenched dress. My wedding is starting really soon here, so I want you gone before that happens.
I'm going home, all right? You don't have to keep telling me to. But before I go outside, can you at least give me a towel or something? I won't even be able to ride in a taxi with how wet I am right now.
Oh, wow. Just what I expected from a lowlife. You're like a homeless beggar asking me for a towel right now so that you can dry yourself off.
Huh?
I know what this is all about now. You came to my wedding today to try and get to all the really delicious food I'll have prepared for everyone today, right? You must only ever get to eat all the day-old stale food that comes out of the gas station, right? So, you thought that today you'd be able to come sneak into my wedding looking to grab yourself a bite or two of this really delicious food.
What?
But I'm really sorry, Oakley. There's no amount of food here that I'd be willing to serve to a low-life beggar such as yourself. So, would you please give up now and leave already?
Would you frickin' stop it with all this belittlement, please? Can't you see how far you've gone now, calling me a homeless beggar and all that, on top of calling me a terrorist?
Huh? What's with that attitude? The one that came to my wedding after being told not to come was you. I won't have an ugly emo coming to my wedding. There's not a chair prepared for you here. Not for the wedding and not for the lunch.
Alright, I'm leaving then.
Hurry the hell up, loser. I told you from the very beginning not to come here. Yet this gas station working lowlife of an ugly emo came all the way out here causing me trouble. A massive loser like yourself needs to keep eating that crappy gas station food for the rest of your life.
Then your mother is going home as well.
What?
I actually quite enjoyed my job at the gas station and find the food here to be really nice. But I'm sorry, however, that your lowlife mother has caused you so much embarrassment.
My mother? Wait, what?
Everyone has different views, I know that. So, I'm not going to say anything to you about your views on who is a lowlife and who's working stupid jobs, even if I am your own mother. But there is one thing a mother like me can say, and that's that you're pushing someone into a shallow pool like that is unacceptable.
Wait a second. You're my mom? What? Is that really you, Mom? Why the hell would my mom be texting me through that loser's phone right now?
I couldn't watch what was going on anymore, so I went and took Miss Oakley's phone from her. I never ever thought that even my daughter could be vicious to someone else as you've been to someone like her. I'm so embarrassed by you right now that I had to do something about this.
What?
You've really shown me your true side, Georgia. The side of you that would push someone as important as Miss Oakley into the water. When I saw that happen, I had no idea what to do or say because I had frozen up out of shock.
Wait a second, Mom. Why do you keep calling her Miss Oakley? Why are you being so polite to such a low-life scum as her? Who said she could be treated that way?
Well, she happens to be the owner of the company that runs the gas station I work for. I don't care that you have such feelings against her and that you've carried all the way from high school. She's my boss and I will treat her as such. And that's the reason why I call her Miss Oakley instead of viewing her as your old classmate.
Huh? Your boss? Wait, Mom, you're working at a gas station right now? And you're telling me that Oakley's the owner of that gas station?
That's what I'm saying. I told you a while ago that I was going to start working again, right? All of my kids were finally out of the house, and I had nothing to do with all this time besides sit around and watch TV. I talked with your dad a little bit about it, and we agreed that I should get myself a part-time job, which is where I am right now.
I heard about all of that, but I never knew you were working at a gas station. I was thinking you worked for a supermarket or a cafe in the neighborhood. I was thinking that you of this whole time, but you've actually been working at a gas station?
I was thinking about working at a place like the local grocery store as well, but then your dad gave me some advice. He told me that working at places such as that, where everyone else around me is old, would require me to pick up slacks for all of them. He then recommended that I go somewhere lots of young people work, as the workload would be more even there.
So then you decided on working for a gas station?
A lot of the gas stations around our house looks for part-time workers all the time. But when I went to the one closest to the house, I never thought I'd be hearing about how the owner of the company was Miss Oakley. And as of right now, she's running around 12 different gas stations. So I have to really respect her for that, because she doesn't even hand off orders to people below her to run her gas stations. She will go to each and every one of them with all of the time, making sure the management is in shape and that the rest of the employees are doing their jobs well.
What?
From what I've heard, she's making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. But even with all that money she's making sure it doesn't all get to her by coming out to be with the people that makes her business happen. Because of that, I have a lot of fun working at the gas station and always feel as though even my voice is heard.
Huh?
At this particular gas station, there are a lot of high schoolers and college students working part-time. There are also people that want to become actors working part-time here, and those that were down on their luck, but are trying to improve their lives now. I really enjoy talking to and working with all different kinds of people from all different backgrounds, as it makes the day go by and I learn plenty of new things. And considering I'm pretty far up in ages now, a lot of the youngsters there will teach me how to use new features on my smartphone and such.
Oh, you seem so happy about being there!
I get to meet all kinds of people from our part of the city as well that comes in to get snacks and drinks. I get to see little kids that I've never really gotten talking to with anymore, and some old friends that I haven't seen in so long. Being able to have so much social interaction with everyone makes this part of my life so enjoyable. But my own daughter is saying someone like myself is a low life because of where I work. There have always been people around making fun of that work part-times at base-level jobs. But the fact that I've now had to learn my own daughter is just like those narrow-minded people breaks my heart.
Hold on,
I'm going home as well now. I was expecting to cry and sob a lot today at my daughter's wedding as I watched her marry her love, and that's why I brought this little towel and handkerchief. But to think I'd have to be using them to dry my boss off at the front of the building. I'm going to take Miss Oakley home in my car now so that she doesn't have to worry about getting a taxi.
What? You're actually going home? Hold on now. Are you being serious right now?
Of course I'm serious. You were just being serious with my boss a little bit ago, right? That low-life gas station workers like her should get lost.
Oh, wait, Mom, that was, I might have gotten carried away. I didn't actually think that you'd take something like me saying to go home personally as well. Now, come on, Mom. You can stop joking about going home with her, alright? There's no way you'd let your daughter have a wedding without her mother around, right?
I sure haven't ever seen a wedding before where the mother was told to leave before it started. Then perhaps you'd better off just canceling the wedding so that something like that won't have to happen.
Huh.
And then you can have a talk with your fiancé Marcus about why the wedding was canceled.
Wait. There's no way this wedding is being canceled. All of our friends and family are here and ready to go now. And why are you even talking about Marcus right now, Mom?
Well, that's because he's standing right beside Miss Oakley and myself right now.
Marcus is?
When he saw me running over to see Miss Oakley, he wanted to see what was going on and came rushing over as well. He said to her, "Are you alright, Miss Oakley?" and things like that as he came up. He apparently saw what you did to her as well. So right now he has his jacket over Miss Oakley, trying to keep her warm so that she doesn't catch a cold or anything. I am so shocked that a kind and selfless man such as him thought it would be a good idea to marry you.
Wait a sec. Why is my fiancé calling her Miss Oakley as well?
How about you ask your fiancé about that? Now both my boss and I are going to be heading home. You go and choose whether you still want to have your wedding, or if you rather just cancel it and save yourself some of the embarrassment. I'm not going to help out with that choice, though.
Hey! There's no way, right? There's no way that my Marcus is working part-time at one of your gas stations. That has to be some kind of messed up joke, right? You haven't hired my fiancé to work for you, right?
Right now, Marcus is working for another one of my gas stations on the other side of the city. Not only has he been working for me for a while now, but he's really enjoyed his job there and gets all the work he's asked to done in a very efficient manner. But I never thought that that man would end up being your fiancé of all people.
No way. So then everything he's been saying to me is true?
So you were just about to marry the guy, yet you had no idea what he was doing for work or anything?
I didn't have to know. I was believing everything he had told me. He told me he came from a really strong university and he was working for a massive company. He even told me about how efficient he was with his work, making him the top employees with his place of work. He told me all of that, hence why I chose to get married to him. Yet, instead, it turns out he's really been working at a gas station this whole time. He never told me that a year ago, the company he was working for had got some layoffs and he was let go.
How about you calm down there, Georgia? Have you really not heard the rest of the story from him? The company may have laid him off, but that was only before it was bought out by an even better company. And that company has been asking him to go and work for them now that they see his potential. He has been in the works of going to their interviews, but in the meantime, he's been relaxing while working for me.
Who cares about all that? That doesn't change the fact that he was let go by the previous company and had to work for you at a gas station. He shouldn't have lied to me about working at a gas station, right?
I'm sure it wasn't right for him to hide that fact from you.
Who would want to marry a man like him? I'm done. I don't want him anymore. I'm canceling this wedding, and from here on out, I am no longer together.
What? So you're actually canceling the wedding?
Well, of course. I would never get married to this man that works part-time at a gas station, and my mom already went home as well. I don't want to have this wedding if I won't be able to brag to all my friends about the man I've married anymore. I'm canceling this marriage and this wedding right now.
I'm not really sure you should have been getting married so that you had something to brag about in the first place, but...
Shut up! Don't start to talk like that to me just because you make some decent money. Don't even try picking on me now just because my mom works for you.
I'm not trying to be rude to you, and I'm definitely not picking on you either. Georgia, the way you are now is really disappointing. No matter what anyone tries to say to you, you just go off the rails and start fighting everything. Oh, well, I guess if you want to keep throwing a fit like that, then please go right ahead and cancel that wedding. And make sure to tell your hard-working fiancé that things are off as well.
What the hell is that attitude?
And after all those invites you sent out to have the whole high school class here, the most popular woman from high school's wedding was today. I'm sure a lot of people were hoping to see something really amazing here, but now it's being canceled. And the mother of said popular woman ran back home. I really want to see how you're going to explain to everyone there why you're having that wedding canceled.
Yeah, are you playing with me right now? I bet you're smiling and laughing right now watching me go through all this crap like I deserve it or something, right? I'll tell you right now that what's happening between you and I is going to stay a secret. You and I will keep this secret that I'm leaving my fiancé because he works at a gas station. Don't you ever tell a single person why this wedding is really over with.
What should I do here? You and I aren't that close to one another, so will I really keep such a tremendous promise with you?
What?
Now you have fun telling all the staff that the wedding is canceled. Good work today. I'm going to stop talking to you now. Georgia tried her best to tell everyone that her wedding was being canceled due to her mother having a bad fall and needing to go to the hospital. She then went and told her fiancé that things were off because he had lied to her about being laid off and having to come work for me at a gas station. He was pretty upset by what happened there, but he knew it was partially his fault for not telling her the truth when things happened. But just a few days later, he received a call from the company he was interviewing with, and they told him he had gotten the job. It turned out that the new company who had bought the company he was laid off from heard stories about his skills from all the employees they took on, and so they wanted him back and moved into the position of department manager. He was also given a raise due to all the troubles he had faced from being laid off during what one could call a corporate buyout of the last company. And that, to me, sounds like a great deal. When Georgia learned about how he got that new job within the massive new company, she ran back to him hoping they could get back together. But by that point, he was totally over her and said for her to get the hell away from him. This was also around the time a lot of the guests from Georgia's canceled wedding began to catch on to what the real reason was for the wedding being canceled. Now, Georgia has been trying to get a hold of her mom to say that she was sorry for what she'd done and all the lying, but to this day, her mom has still managed to ignore all those calls and texts. Lindsay? What was all that about just a second ago at the planning meeting? Out of nowhere, you just took my idea as your own and got credit for it. What could you possibly be talking about? Stop trying to act like you have no idea what I'm talking about right now. That paperwork that you just handed in at the planning meeting we had? That was all the exact same stuff that I had worked on before. I was planning on leaving that idea alone for a bit longer so that I could come up with some better things before next month's meeting. It's messed up of you to steal my idea like that. Can you please not say such rude things to me like that? Do you even have evidence of me stealing your idea? I get that I'm newer to this company than you are, but just because I'm doing better than you are here doesn't mean you can try to sabotage me. Huh? I'm sure you're just jealous that a newbie like me was able to come up with a better idea than you at the meeting, right? I was praised by all the higher-ups, and that's probably what made you so upset. But you should take a page from their books and start praising me as well for my hard work and great thinking. I'm not trying to play any games right now, Lindsay. I know that you came up to my desk and took those papers from me, and I have proof of that. I learned about it from someone that witnessed you doing it while she was here late doing overtime. Well, I just happened to walk by your desk a few times, but I never took anything from you. Walking around like that helps me come up with new ideas is all. And it just so happens that sometimes I come up to your desk while walking around like that. But don't take that as me stealing anything from you, okay? I have a witness saying you stole things from me and you still won't come clean? Well, come on now. You were never going to come up with an idea like mine anyway. You've been here longer than I have, and the manager told me that he's never heard of an idea like mine from any of the other workers. So that must mean that an old fart like you couldn't come up with anything to impress. Huh? What did you say? Well, it doesn't even matter now because the meeting is over with. And as of right now, the department manager is taking my idea into consideration for the next plan. So can you please stop trying to scare me by making such a big deal over it? If you have the time to be sitting at your desk right now talking to me, then you have time to start working on new documents for my plan. What? What do you mean by new documents? Did you not hear a word the manager said to us? He said that starting next month, we will be having a company-wide meeting to discuss this plan and put it into action. And that's why he's asked for us to start making up documents to better lay out said plan. As I recall, you were the one that was asked to work on those new documents, considering you stole the idea from me for said plans. And another thing before I'm done talking to you. Next week is going to be that company-wide meeting, and so if you don't get started on those documents soon, you'll never have them ready in time. But I'm really busy right now and don't have time to work on any documents. And this evening, I have some important plans to get to, so I'll be going home soon. Also, that meeting today wore me out, so I'll be taking some PTO out for tomorrow and the day after to recover. So all the work that's supposed to be done by me is going to fall into your hands to be finished in time for that meeting. Huh? Are you kidding me? That's not going to happen, though. I have a lot of work of my own to get back to this week and won't have time to work on your things. And I myself have plans tonight that require me to be home, so I'm not going to be able to stay late. Do you really think it'll be acceptable to slack off like that? You've been in this company longer than me, therefore when a newbie like me is sick and can't get her work done, you have to step in to clean up for me. But if you can't even be relied on to do that here, as well as never give any new ideas at the planning meeting, I think this company will begin to realize you're no use anymore. And by that point, they will think of you as nothing more than an old fart that needs to go. Excuse me? Now I need to be heading home. I look forward to those finished documents on my desk when I'm back in 2 days. I'm sorry, Stanley. I know that you and I are supposed to be having dinner together today, but I have so much work right now and I don't think I'll be able to make it. You can go ahead and start the dinner without me today.
What? Even today you have to stay late for work? I was really looking forward to finally having the whole family together to meet my fiancé for dinner.
I'm really so sorry about this. Unfortunately, I was given some last-minute work today that I can't say no to and that needs to be completed here soon.
Last minute work, huh? Don't tell me that it's because of that newbie that you're working with still who's been forcing you to do all her work?
You really seem to know what's going on here.
Well, you are the kind of woman that likes to get all her work done to the best of her abilities. But the fact that someone new is forcing you to do all their work, You've already told me and Mom and Dad about it a lot, so I knew that once again this time would be the same reason.
Well, you're 100% correct. Not only did she end up stealing my idea and giving it at the meeting today, but she's having me do all the document work for it now.
What? She stole an idea of yours? Don't you feel like something like that is crossing the line big time in terms of work ethic? I can kind of see someone being lazy and never getting their work done, leading to you having to do it for them, but what she's done this time is just wrong.
You are right. This time she's really crossed the line. She's really started to act strange in the office, and it's really getting on my nerves. Which is pretty rare considering that I'm usually pretty patient with new employees.
Maybe this new employee isn't like the rest and is just completely brainless. No matter how you think of it, this time you happen to have a useless coworker on your hands. And what really makes this all worse is that you were supposed to be coming out to see my fiance today, but that's all been ruined because of that lazy jerk. It's all due to her that even your private life is starting to be affected, and in a very bad way. I think you need to stop trying to bear that coworker's laziness and bring all this stuff up with your boss.
You have a good point. At this point, I'm not going to be able to handle her crap on my own anymore. However, I'm worried that me bringing this up to my boss might result in them thinking her actions are all because I'm not training her well enough.
Katrina, you were always worried too much about things. There's no way they would get upset at you because of her poor work ethic. You just have to tell your boss that you've had enough and can't deal with the new hire anymore. If anything, it'd be better to tell them sooner rather than later, because it will help the company just as much as it'll help you. It's only a matter of time that coworker does something completely out of line and costs not only you your sanity, but the company its image as well.
That's right. Thank you so much for listening to me rant again, Stanley. You've really made me start feeling better about this. I shouldn't have expected any less from a psychiatry major like you.
Well, how about instead of me charging you for my time this time, you treat me to some steak next time we meet? And as for my fiance, I'm sure I can get her to meet you another time before we get married.
Sure. When things calm down a bit here for me, I'd love to take the both of you out for steak and get to finally meet her. Now I've got to get back to my work before I stay here too long. Make sure to let everyone know today that I've had to stay late at work again, and that's why I won't be making it to dinner tonight. Why are you here, Katrina? Where the hell did you even come from to get into here? I'm actually wondering the exact same thing, actually. I want to know why Lindsay is here right now at this wedding, and why are you wearing a wedding dress right now? I'm the bride, after all, so I have to be here in a wedding dress. In other words, this is my wedding that you're at today. What? You are the bride at this wedding today? Now tell me why you, of all people, are here. I don't ever remember inviting you to be at my wedding. And what makes all this even more surprising is that you seem to be very close to my fiancé. Who the hell do you think you are talking to the groom like that? Who the hell am I? I would have never thought that someone like you would come into someone else's wedding uninvited. And not just that, but be flirting with the groom while his fiancé is watching? I don't want an old fart like you anywhere near him. I am not flirting with him right now. Do you think we can both take a moment to calm down a bit? We have to be a bit more level-headed before we continue this conversation. Well, if you want me to calm down, start by telling me why you're at my wedding today. What made you think it was such a good idea to come to your new coworker's wedding when you never got an invitation? Wait, don't tell me. You came here so that you could try and catch the bouquet in the toss today? What? Now that I think about it, you are still a single and lonely middle-aged woman, right? You've never been able to find a man for yourself to marry, and that's why you came here today searching for luck. They always say that the person that catches the bouquet is likely to be the next one to get married, right? And so you thought it would be the perfect chance to finally end your suffering, and that's why you're here. Nobody with a hint of common sense would come to some stranger's wedding for that reason. And just because I'm single doesn't mean that I'm lonely. No. You are getting way too old now to still be single, and that's why it sucks so much for you. And when it comes to women, no matter how much they love their jobs and work hard, if they're still single in their 40s, they're pretty much done for. And that's why today will be your last chance of ever getting married, as long as you can get the bouquet. I can't believe that you came all the way to your coworker's wedding today uninvited just to try and save yourself from eternal loneliness. You must really be hurting inside. I told you already that that's not the case. Can you take a moment to listen to what I'm saying? Huh? There's no way I'm wrong about what I'm saying. If what I've said isn't the case, then why else would you be here? I mean, why would you be trying to steal my fiancé from me right now? Did you come all the way here with the intention of stealing him from me on our wedding day? Huh? I bet you're jealous seeing your young and cute coworker getting married before you. And that's why you're here, trying to take the groom away before he ties the knot with the bride. You're only here to take him away and nothing else, right? Well, I'm sorry, Katrina. Right now, my fiancé is head over heels in love with me. And he would never take a chance at going out with some old fart like you. That is also not the reason why I'm here. Can you stop it with all these weird and messed up guesses that you're making? Then tell me why you're here already. I never asked for an old fart like you to be here today, so you'd better get to explaining yourself. And I don't mean talking around the bush about it either. I want to know right now, or else I'm sending you out of here. I'm here because I'm your sister-in-law. What? I've had enough of this. I'm going home. Then at least we can both be happy because we won't be around each other anymore. So now go right along and have a wonderful wedding with my little brother, please. Wait a second. What? My sister-in-law? What? You're Stanley's older sister? That's right. I'm the older sister of your groom. But man, did I never expect that my brother's fiancé would turn out to be you. That's such a terrible outcome that I'm even shocked to the core. You're lying about this, right? Wait. From everything I've heard from Stanley, he tells me that his sister is a really well-off woman with a great career. Don't tell me that he was talking about you. And if a few months ago you and I were able to meet at that dinner, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. But when you told me that you had important plans after work, you forced me to deal with all your responsibilities while leaving the office. And it's because of that that I was never able to go to that dinner to meet you. That dinner? That was the day that my idea ended up being accepted by our higher-ups. Yeah, that's the day that you stole my idea from me and gave it at the meeting to take credit for it. And when that meeting was over, you made me do all the paperwork for it, like writing all the new documents up over the new plan. And in the end, the only person to be recognized for my idea was you. I remember all of it, Lindsay. That was... And of course, since today is the day of your wedding, we shouldn't be having to talk about work, right? So I'm going to hurry up and go on my way, like you asked. Have yourself a great wedding today, okay?
Katrina, why did you just turn around and leave my wedding without saying anything else to me? We're about to get started with the wedding now. Did something happen to you that may have upset you?
No, at least not something that you did to me. I was just told by your bride to go home, so that's what I'm doing at the moment. She told me that she doesn't want some lonely old fart sitting in on her wedding.
What?
Actually, we only just learned about each other being here a little bit ago. That soon-to-be wife of yours is actually that newbie in the office that I've been telling you about. And you know how I feel about her as my coworker and about the stories of me having to try and train her, right? Well, that's her.
Huh? You're telling me that the girl you're always complaining about is Lindsay?
It's surprising, right? Who would have ever thought that such a coincidence as this could happen to us?
No, wait. This can't be happening, right? But listen, the coworker you're always telling me about and the Lindsay I know are two completely different people. She is the kind of woman that is nice to everyone and will do anything to help those around her. There's no way she could ever be the same selfish person you're always telling me about.
Well, I'm guessing that in front of you, she puts on a great face. But in front of me at the office, she does a great job at being selfish and lazy.
But that's... So you're saying that Lindsay really is the one that stole your idea and shared it at a meeting? And she's also the one that steals plans from you all the time and then forces you to do all her work? And not just those things, but will also leave you to do the remainder of her work when she feels she can leave the office to do her own things? Which also must mean that she's the one that left the office one day out of nowhere to go be with her boyfriend when they went on a long trip to California.
That's her. I'm sorry, but you happen to be getting married to her now.
What? Really? Hold on a sec. Now that I think about it, I haven't ever gone with her to California before.
Uh-oh.
She told me that she didn't want to go there because the sun is too strong and it would burn her beautiful skin. But you're telling me that she left the office to go there with her boyfriend? What boyfriend is she talking about?
Now that I think about it, who was that man that she showed me pictures of when she came back from that trip? This is all from the past, so I don't remember everything. But I do remember this taking place around the same time you were talking about how you both got engaged.
So you're saying that when she had accepted my proposal, she was going out with another man to California? I need to go have a word with her right now. I'm going to stop the wedding right now until I know what's going on here.
Huh? You're going to stop it now?
I'm not going to show everyone some fake love for her when I have no idea what's going on anymore. I'm really sorry. I'll get back in touch with you later.
Why would this be happening to me? The wedding was canceled yesterday. And not just canceled, but it won't ever be happening again because now Stanley said he's leaving me. Really? So this all ended with him breaking up with you? It is! He told me before he started to leave the wedding that he had had enough of me, and said that to me with all my family and friends watching. Also, why the hell does he know now about how I cheated on him before? He's told me that he's going to get a settlement from me now. Oh my. So we were right about your trip to California being with another man. Why? Why would he be able to find out about all of this on the day of my wedding? I was able to hide all of it from him right up into the wedding. I finally thought that I'd be in the clear with that, yet right when we should have been getting married, he found out about everything. I wonder why he found out. I wonder if it has anything to do with how you acted on your wedding day. Please, Katrina, can you please go find a way to get your brother to come back to me? I really do love your brother and want to become his wife. All that trip to California was me having a little fun for a change. I may have been cheating at the time, but it wasn't anything serious, and I really only love Stanley. You really think an excuse like that is going to slide with us? And another thing, I don't want to become family to you, so I'm not going to help you get him back. If anything, I'm asking you to stay away from my brother for the rest of your life. Huh? I am not going to let my cute little brother marry some used-up whore like you. You may have done a good job hiding your true personality from him, but he knows the truth about you now. So give up on Stanley, please. Stop screwing around! Your cute little coworker is in trouble right now and really needs you to help make her life better again. And you're not going to help me? You're supposed to be looking out for me as my trainer. What? You're my cute little coworker now? If you're not going to help me get back my man, then so be it. If you plan on not helping me, then I'm going to complain about you to the manager. I'll tell him that you've stopped helping me now, and they'll never let you come to another meeting again. Actually, I'm going to make sure that you're fired from your job for this. That's fine with you, though, right? You really think that you can threaten me with something like that? If anything, the odds are in my favor on all this. So you going to our higher-ups about this will only further prove the case that you're useless. What? What are you talking about? I've already spoken to the higher-ups about how you push all your work onto me when you run out of the office or just don't want to work. And you going to them about me not helping you get your fiancé back won't help your case at all back there. They'll only become even more concerned about you because you'll start bringing up things that are unrelated to work and wonder why you want me punished for them. It might even end up getting you fired then. But how does any of that make me useless? They already know that I'm amazing based off of the idea I gave at that planning meeting. Unlike some old fart like you, I can actually do my job and make progress. So you really think that they're going to call me useless and think about firing me? You may think that you came out on top for using my idea at the meeting, but unfortunately for you, everyone knows that you stole that stuff from me. And I don't mean our other coworkers, but also all the higher-ups that were at the meeting. They were going to ask you why you'd been giving out ideas I'd already planned, but at the time it was late and they didn't want to make a fuss out of it. That's why they went ahead with the idea and ended the meeting. What? Well, anyway, the company-wide meeting has taken place now, and the plan has gone into action. And on that plan is my name. I even got a comment from the district manager saying I did a great job and would be rewarded for it. What did you say? And not only was I finally recognized for my idea that you stole, but the manager brought this all up with HR to look further into. And so now everyone knows about what you've done, and there's no need for me to have proof to show. There was also a lot of notes found on your desk describing how much you hate me and what other things you could do to make me work harder. So with all of that, I think you are pretty close to being fired from your job. What notes are you talking about? Why would I ever write things like that about you? You're always writing about how much you hate me, and not just writing either, but saying things like that about me on here, by text. And that text remains on my phone and can be screenshotted to show others later on. Things like you calling me an old fart, or saying that I'm useless. We also all know about how you push all your work onto me now, and there's evidence of that all around as well. And don't forget that one instance where you spilled the coffee on my desk on purpose, ruining all my documents. Hold on now. Having to hear all of this from an old fart like me must really hurt, right? But I'm sorry, Lindsay. You saying that the way you've been treating me is okay because I'm so old is just not going to fly. That doesn't fly anywhere in the corporate world, so good luck trying to fool anyone by saying that I'm to blame. Because compared to an old employee, who isn't even that old actually, you are far worse off for never even bothering to do your work. Please, wait a second. Are you actually being serious about me being close to getting fired? Yeah, I'm being very serious. Just like my brother said, it was all worth it bringing this up to my boss earlier. What? Huh? Didn't you say that if my brother doesn't get back with you, you'd complain about me? Well, go ahead and try it, because he's not getting back with you. So it'll all be a waste for you, and you'll most definitely lose your job by doing that. Now go right ahead and try to hurt me. In the end, the talks about getting married ended up fading away between my brother and Lindsay. And along with that, Lindsay was left having to pay for the wedding to be canceled. And not just that though, but also the settlement for her cheating on Stanley also came right after my brother said he was never talking to her again. In total, she would be having to pay around $80,000 for everything she did. But before even trying to pay for anything, Lindsay ran to her parents crying for them to help her. But they ended up telling her to get out of their faces for what she'd done to their reputation. And after being told to never come around her parents again, she was also put on temporary leave from her job while HR investigated her. And that actually meant all of us here could get our work done in peace. And this is the perfect timing as well, since we are getting into the middle of putting said plan into action within the company. As for my brother, he told me he's so happy he learned about his fiancée before signing all the marriage papers. And since he thanked me for telling him all about her at his wedding, he's going to use a part of the money he received in the settlement to take me out.
Mom! I'm going to be getting married soon! I plan to hand in our marriage papers real soon with the guy I've been dating.
Wait, you're getting married? And since when have you been going out with anyone, Misty?
You know better than to say something like that. I'm old enough now to where I have to have a man by my side. And the man I've been dating is the same age as me, and he's a very cool-looking guy.
Well, congrats on finding a man to marry, Misty. I have always been wondering when the day would come that you'd be getting married. But now to actually hear from you that you are, I can't help but think about what's next. When are you handing in those marriage papers? And do you plan to have a wedding for everyone to come see you guys at?
We plan to go to the city office very soon here. And the wedding will be happening sometime this year, we hope.
Well, being your mom, Misty, I've been dreaming of seeing you in a wedding dress. And so as your mom, I've done everything I could to raise you without a father here to help, and I'm so excited to hear that my dreams will finally come true. I'll try my best to support you with anything you need, even if I can't offer much, but I'll do everything to get you as nice of a wedding as you want. Before I do anything else, though, I'd really like to meet your soon-to-be husband. At this point, I really need to know who the man is, and that's why I need to see him before we begin preparing.
You don't have to worry about meeting him. I'm not planning on having him come back to your place anytime in the future.
Huh?
You actually think I'd bring him to that rundown shack you're living in? And I already told him that you don't really care to see him much, and that there's no need in him going out to see you. You should just be happy that I'm allowing you to come to my wedding, and then after that, you can leave the two of us alone.
Wait a second, Misty. What are you talking about? I get that this place is pretty old and has seen better days, but I've made sure to keep it clean and safe. And can you tell me why you think I don't care to see him? Why would you tell him a lie like that?
Huh? Well, what about that was a lie? I'm not really sure what you think about me right now, but I actually hate you a lot, Mom. And I feel that you won't need to waste your time seeing my man. And so that's why I've told him that you don't want to see him, because I don't want you seeing him. So it's not really a lie, right?
What?
To tell you the truth, I didn't even want to tell you about us getting married or about having you come to the wedding. But he did tell me that that was going a bit too far and that I needed to at least allow you the joy of seeing us marry. And that's why I'm allowing you to come even though I hate your guts. And that should be enough for you to be thanking me right now, right?
Wait, though, Misty! Why are you acting like this now? What happened to you? What do you mean you hate your own mom's guts? What did I do to you that caused you to start thinking that way? Because I thought that I was doing a good job of showing you how much I care about you. Why do you hate me so much?
Shut the hell up, you old hag! You don't have the right to celebrate me now. It's because of you bringing me into a poor household without a father that I've been living such a troubled life. And a mother that thinks it's okay to raise her daughter like that deserves to be hated.
Excuse me?
All right. When you come to my wedding, don't you dare say a single word to anyone. I don't want to have to lose my wedding because you decided to talk without me allowing you to. And when it comes to my fiancé and his family, you don't have to bother yourself with trying to find them and talk to them. I just want you to sit there and shut up while I have my special day.
Hey, really, hold on for just a second. What has actually happened to you? I have no idea why you think that's a good reason to hate me so much. And what do you mean, a poor household? What about our family has been without enough money to live a good life? And just because I'm a single mother doesn't mean that I've troubled you in any way, or at least I didn't mean to.
Seriously? You have no right saying that to me after not allowing me to go overseas for school. And when it comes to wanting to go on trips to Hawaii with you, you never bothered taking me. In other words, you never gave a crap about me.
Huh? What trips to Hawaii? And when you say overseas for school, since when were you ever asking me about stuff like that?
My man told me all about this stuff. He said to me that there's no other reason for it besides you being poor, that I couldn't go overseas for school or to places like Hawaii on vacation.
Huh?
The man that I'm planning on marrying, he's super rich and from a family of rich people. From what he's told me, his parents run a very well-known company, and in a little while longer, he's expected to take over that company.
Wow, is that so?
At the moment, he's working for another company, learning about how to run a company of his own and the economics of it all. And it was at that company that him and I met and started to date. But starting to date a man like him made every day hell for me. I just knew that he would judge me all the time because I've had to grow up in a poor household with just you as a parent.
Huh?
I bet he still judges me for it, Mom! Unlike me, when he was in high school, he was allowed to go study abroad for school. And when it comes to where his family took him on vacation, it'd be places like Bali and Hawaii. Unlike his family, mine has been such an embarrassing mess that it's driven me crazy having to think about you being my mom.
Well, when you compare any other family to a family such as his, they will all look as though they don't have much money. But I'm telling you that we have had it lucky being able to live in such a decent house. And to tell you another thing, I've worked my butt off to make sure that we had the money to live a happy life here. Even though it was impossible for us to go to Hawaii, I still made sure to take you to all sorts of cool places closer to our house. And on your birthdays, I made sure to get you everything you ever asked me for, right?
And what about that means we have been living a happy life? His family goes to all sorts of cool places close to his house every month. And on his birthdays, he gets to have his own private chef come in and make him anything he asks for, right in front of his eyes. When you compare our family to that, we are the lowest of the low and considered piss poor. And you yourself are a piss poor excuse for a mother.
What?
If I could have at least had a father, I'm sure that he would have done enough to stop us from being so poor and made sure that we could take more vacations to places like Hawaii. But it's because you divorced him when I was so young that I've had to live with you all by myself and never experience anything besides troubles.
It's the other way around, Misty. If your father was still around, you would have had to suffer a lot more than you think you have been. The whole reason for the divorce was to protect you.
Seriously?
Your father was a heavy gambler and would use up all our money to try and win it big. He was the kind of man that would spend every last penny on slot machines, even when it meant us not being able to buy fresh food for a whole month. So to protect you from a man like that, I left him. If it wasn't for me making that difficult choice to save you, then who knows what kind of horrible life we'd be living in right now.
Stop trying to lie about my father like that. If you'd never forced that divorce when I was so young, then we could be living a wonderful life right now. I know right now that Dad is a way better person than you are and is very successful.
What?
Did you think that after he was forced to leave us, he'd just stop trying to talk to his daughter? Well, I'll lay it out for you. Right now, my father is an owner of his own business. His company isn't as amazing as my fiance's, but it's still a whole lot better than the company you own.
That man has his own business? And another thing, how do you know that he has his own business? Have you actually been talking with him again recently?
When it comes to business owners, they all happen to know one another pretty well. And so somewhere in there, they heard about how I've been dating the son of a CEO, and the news spread along to Dad. And that's why one day I got a message from Dad talking about his life.
Don't tell me that you've started to see him in person as well, right?
Dad is such a perfect father. He was even kind enough to bring me to such a fancy restaurant that they had a dress code in place. He ordered all our food like he knew every detail about the dishes, and he was even kind enough to give me a present. Unlike you, he's the best parent a girl could ask for.
That man did all that for you?
Stop trying to make him look bad because of his past. Everyone has to go through a point in their life where they become addicted to gambling. Normally, as his wife, you should have helped him get over that low in his life. But instead, you selfishly divorced him and made him deal with all that pain on his own. If it wasn't for you being such a selfish hag, then my life would be so much better now. Heck, you could have at least let me go see him every other week after the divorce, and I could have had access to all his money. It's all your fault that my life sucked so much.
Are you kidding me?
If you understand now why I hate you so much, shut the hell up and be quiet when it comes time for my wedding.
Misty, wait a second. What the heck was that whole speech about just then? What you said in front of everyone? Why would you ever read a letter like that to me in front of everyone saying that you want to cut ties to me?
I'm happy to see that you obeyed the promise we made and stayed quiet the whole time. But what you heard today from me was true, and that's why we are done here. After today, you and I are no longer mother and daughter.
All of that was not a good enough reason to want to leave me, though. I get what you were saying to me before as reason for wanting to hate me, but cutting ties to me because of all that? And saying that to me in front of everyone at your wedding?
What's so wrong with that? I was just telling everyone the facts about you. I told them that you didn't let me study abroad, which left me without a perfect education, and told them that while everyone was out having a great time with their families, you'd made me work a part-time job. And when it came to the money I made from a part-time job, you made me give it all to you. I also enjoyed finishing that speech off by saying that life with you has been hell and I want it to end. Now everyone is on my side and asking for things between us to be over for good.
Huh?
After having to hear all of that from me in front of everyone at my wedding, that should be enough to get you to give up on me, right? And even if that isn't enough to get you to leave me, everyone hates you now. So you have no other choice.
And those are your reasons for giving such a cruel speech about me in front of everyone? You must have no idea the amount I have sacrificed for you. Because all I saw from you today was you making up a bunch of events to make it seem as though you were the only one suffering.
Huh?
You never even once told me that you wanted to study abroad or anything like that when you were in school. And from what I remember, your scores in school were too low anyway for them to give you permission to go study overseas.
And my scores were low because you made me work part-time. You made me work after school every day because you didn't have enough money for us, and it's because of me having to work all evening that I never had time to study.
You're wrong, Misty. The only reason you had to work a part-time job was because every month you'd spend around $5,000 on online games. I told you plenty of times to stop spending all that on your phone, but you never listened. And that's why, to make up for all that money you kept spending, I had you work. You are pretty much an adult anyway when you're in high school, so you should know better than to be spending that much of my money on your phone. You needed to learn that you have to earn the money you want to spend on entertainment. If it wasn't for me forcing you to start working a little to make up for all that money lost, then we actually wouldn't have had enough money to live decent lives.
No matter what the reason was for that, you forced me to work and took all the money I made. Normal families would have been fine with me spending that much money on things that made me happy. But instead, my mom didn't even bother to let me have my fun, instead threatening me by saying that we wouldn't have enough money for food because of my spending habits. And when I told Dad about all of this, he said you treated me like an animal. He said that had he been around when I was spending that much, he would have continued to pay for everything for me.
You're back to talking about that man?
Well, whatever. Just know that after today, you and I are done. I struck out terribly having to be raised by a failure like you. Well, now I'm not going to stick around for when you get old and need my help. And you can kiss seeing me ever again goodbye.
Are you really okay with that?
You know for a dang fact that I am, you old hag. All you are to me now is a waste of mental space.
Calling your only parent a waste of mental space, huh?
I still have Dad around to care for me when I need it. So I'd much rather have my mind thinking about him over you. Even tomorrow, he's willing to come to town to let me see him again, and we promised that. He said he wants to come and celebrate my marriage as well. I wonder what kind of gift he's gotten me this time. Maybe a brand new car.
Either that or he'll be handing you an IOU. He must know by now that you're married to a very wealthy man and will be coming to get his hands on some of the money.
Huh?
For a man that never paid any of his daughter's child support, it's pretty brave of him to come back to see you again. Tell him that I said that when he comes to see you tomorrow.
Hold on 1 second, Mom. Why would Dad ever come to me to hand me an IOU? And wanting to borrow money from me? No way. Right now, Dad is a CEO himself and can afford anything he wants.
I'm sure that he's some kind of CEO. Now I'm going to listen to what you've said and make sure that I never come around you ever again. Go ahead and enjoy the rest of your life.
Mom, come help me. When I went to go meet with Dad, he had a really scary dude with him. And he didn't even introduce himself to me before he started to yell to me about why Dad has borrowed so much money from him. That scary dude told me that Dad is over $200,000 in debt with him, and that he needs that money back right now. He even told me that I'm going to be the one to pay it back since Dad has nothing.
Oh my. Seems that gift Dad was bringing you for your wedding turned out to be a bluff. I'm surprised to hear that even Dad thinks a gift like that is okay to give to a young wife.
How the hell is something like this a gift? And actually, what the hell does he mean Dad owes him over $200,000? What the hell was Dad doing to get here?
I'm pretty sure that the scary dude explained that to you when he was telling you everything else, right?
He's so scary that most of what he said didn't even enter my ears. I freaked out so much before he could even finish that I ran to a public bathroom nearby and am currently hiding in it. Can you tell me what the actual hell is going on right now?
Even if I tried my best to explain, I've only heard rumors about your dad. From those rumors, though, it's thought that your dad runs a pretty risky business. Apparently, his company sells commodities at extremely high prices to people that need them desperately, which forces them to end up paying. At first, a company like that will make bank, forcing its customers to pay that much, but the company won't last long. And from other things I've heard, his company is currently going bankrupt. And that's probably what led to him having to borrow a lot of money, trying to save his skin.
You have to be lying, right? How could all that be true and only recently he took me to that really nice restaurant with him, and he was able to give me such a high-brand present? Could he really afford all that for me when his company is going under?
Well, when you stop to really think about all of this, his timing for coming back to talk to you is a little too spot on. The moment he learned about you marrying the son of a CEO, he started to get back in touch with you again. I'm sure that his only goal in getting close to you was to get that money.
What am I going to do, Mom? I really want to run away from here right now. Can you come out here and help me get away?
I'm sorry, Misty. We made it pretty clear yesterday that neither one of us would ever be seeing one another again, right? So I won't be able to come save you. Therefore, you'll need to figure something out for yourself.
What?
You told me that you ended up with me as the worst parent, right? But don't you worry, as you have yourself a wonderful husband now with all that money. I'm sure that you can just go and ask him to pay off your dad's debts, right? Or, if the man is as scary as you say, you can just get a lawyer to go and deal with him for you from your husband.
And I normally would want to go ask my husband to help me out here, but right now is not the best time to be doing that. I just got a message from my husband only a few seconds ago, and he told me that he wants the two of us to get divorced already.
Huh? He wants a divorce now? Didn't you guys just have your wedding yesterday?
And yesterday I gave that speech saying that I wanted to cut ties with you, right? Well, apparently his parents and him weren't too happy to hear that from me, and so they went ahead and looked into me a bit more to see if I really was living a life in hell with you. And when they did that, they started to learn about my poor grades in school and about how I had spent so much money on my games. And after learning all that, my husband told me that you were nothing more than an average mother to me, and that the hell I was living in was my own fault.
My oh my. It's crazy to think that right after you learned about your father's debt and how he needs you to pay it off, your husband is ready for a divorce. This must really be a tough spot for you.
Please, Mom, come help me! I don't want to have to pay over $200,000 to that scary dude, and I don't want to get divorced!
Well, you can tell me that all you want, but I can't do anything for you. You told me that you wanted to cut ties to me, right? So stop trying to take all you said to me back now just because you need my help again.
I believe that we met for a brief second yesterday, but this is your son-in-law's mother, Daisy. Nice to have met you.
Nice to have met you as well. But as you heard yesterday, I'm no longer really your son's mother-in-law anymore after my daughter cut ties to me.
And about that, I think what your daughter did was just tragic. After taking the time to look into you guys a bit more, we learned that you actually didn't do anything wrong whatsoever to her. Yet for some reason, she believes she can talk about you in such a nasty tongue?
I just heard about a lot of this from her a little bit ago. And from what she was saying, your son is planning to divorce her?
I'm sorry that my son is asking for something so depressing as divorce just after the two of them had their wedding. But after hearing about the way she spoke about you, even though her past was her responsibility, we have no patience in waiting around for her to grow up. I hope you can understand that.
I do understand why your son wants the divorce. Misty did all of this to herself, so she really does need to learn, one way or another, not to act like a spoiled brat. But I wonder why, after hearing her give that speech, you guys chose to look into her. I really thought that everyone at the wedding would believe what she was saying and be on her side.
Well, you and I are both mothers, right? I understand the troubles of having to raise a daughter and that it must be way more difficult when you have to do it alone. There is also one other thing that I never mentioned to Misty. That's that her father used to cause me a lot of headache in the past.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
Well, right after Misty and my son got engaged, a man with the same last name as her came to our house looking for her. When he showed up, he told me that we had to make sure that his daughter became my son's wife. And once he told me that, he handed me an envelope full of cash as a payment in advance for getting our son to stay with your daughter.
You're lying. That man actually went ahead and did all of that to you?
Of course, I told him I didn't want his money. And I wasn't going to try and stop my son from marrying Misty or anything. But when I told him that I didn't want his money, he told me that it was actually to pay for us to later take good care of him after Misty became a part of the family. However, after hearing that speech from Misty at her wedding, the three of us all lost our love for Misty at that moment, knowing that she'd be nothing but trouble like her father.
So that's what ended up happening. I don't even know how to apologize for the troubles my daughter and ex have caused.
You don't have to apologize for anything. At this point, we are going to be saying goodbye to her as our daughter-in-law, and she already cut ties to you. So she's just a stranger at this point to all of us. If anything, think of this as a way of completely saying goodbye to those two. You are finally free from them, and should look forward to a life of relaxation from now on.
Thank you so much, Daisy. Just hearing that from you now has lifted a lot of weight off my back.
What am I going to do, Mom? He actually left me like he said he would. And when I tried to get them to listen to me, they wouldn't have it and told me to go away. They told me that they won't be allowing anyone into their family that they can't trust. And that they won't allow me to be their son's wife when all I do is complain and ask for help from them. His parents and him have already filed the divorce, and there's nothing I can do now.
And so from now on, you're completely alone. Must hurt knowing that they left you like you left me.
You don't have to say something like that to me now. Just come here and get me. I already tried once to get back into your house, but you never came out to get me. Why not? Hurry up and unlock the door so I have a place to sleep tonight. Stop trying to bully me and open the dang door.
Oh, for goodness sake, you went back to that old house? I'm sorry, but I've already moved out of there. So I'm no longer in that house anymore.
Huh? You moved out?
Well, you were the one that cut ties to me, right? And since I didn't have a daughter anymore, I was in that place all by myself. But even though I was alone, there were still a lot of memories of us trapped in that place that haunted me. So I did my best to forget about you, and that meant getting out of there. And just like that, I'm now having a great time living on my own.
If you were going to do something like that, you should have told me sooner. I'm going to come to your new place now, so tell me the address.
Huh? Why would I tell some crazy stranger the address to my new house? I don't want you back in my life, and especially not back living with me.
Huh?
You and I are no longer family anymore, so this is acceptable to think, right? You are no longer my daughter, just a stranger now. So I'm not telling you a thing about my new life besides that it has nothing to do with you.
Well, wait, Mom? I just lost my husband and now have no place to go to anymore. Your cute little girl is in need of some help right now, and you're not going to come save her?
I already told you that I don't have a daughter anymore. But you do have a father around you still, right? And he's entrusted you with paying off his $200,000 debt, so there must be something between you both, right? The fact that he's made it this far with that kind of debt means he'd be the perfect person for you to ask for some help from. Having a man like him around to father you again after being through the worst of it himself would be the perfect thing for you.
There's nothing perfect about any of that. All he's been trying to do is get me wrapped up in his awful life.
But even after all the years I spent raising you, you chose to keep him as your father while throwing me away, right? So you can have a great life with him now, Misty. I've got to get back to living my wonderful life as a single woman now, and I hope things go well for you soon, just like me. After that, Misty started to freak out, worrying about how her dad's debt would soon affect her, and even quit her job to run and hide. But no matter where she tried to run and hide, my ex seemed to still be hot on her trail. And when he did finally catch her, he started to call her a failure for not being able to stay married to the man that had all that money, and forced her to start working for him. Now, not only was Misty forced to start working for her dad to help him make money, but her friends started to find out as well about the debt. And not just the debt, but about the divorce as well, and began to spread rumors about her. And soon those rumors began to pick up pace and spread like wildfire. As for what's happened with me after all of this, I've just been living the good life as a single, middle-aged woman. I had to sacrifice a lot of my life raising Misty all by myself for a long time, but comparing the life I had raising her, my life all alone now is 10 times better.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.